AskReddit by ITZ Beaver. What's the best vacation you had? My parents used to go on summer vacation with my aunt and uncle. They switched each summer on who got to decide where they went. I had stopped going along with them, but when I was 18, my mother chose Holland. I had a pen pal in Holland, so I went along with them so I could finally get to meet her. My father drove me to her house the day after we arrived. We spent 2 days with her father, and then we took the train back to the vacation place my family was at. It was a really nice week, and she was just as sweet as the woman I had gotten to know through her letters. It was the 90s. People still sent letters. A trip to Boston, 2010. It was for an extended weekend. All paid for by the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Iceland in December 2022. Christmas time at the Land of Fire and Ice. We saw the Northern Lights. I got to spend 2 weeks in Hawaii a couple years ago. Growing up poor, we never went on vacation, so getting that experience was incredible. I spent the summer with my uncle, who owns a big restaurant on the beach. He was hiring past convicted people, mostly drug dealers. They were the nicest people I've ever known, and I got along with them so easily. We were chatting about funny stories and life lessons, even how the life is prison was advising me to never go near any of it. It was one of the best summers I had. Colorado. As a Michigan native, it was my first time being around mountains, one of which I hiked to the peak of. Maybe it would wear off if I lived there, but something about being around mountains and forests just felt freeing and therapeutic. You could say that about vacations in general, but I think the vibe that I got from that environment can't be duplicated just anywhere, especially not on a vacation to some big city. I've been here in Colorado for 10 years. It doesn't wear off. I love seeing the mountains every day, and I can't wait till June to go in the mountains and hike to see the wildflowers. Germany, wish I could go back. It's gonna be this summer when I do jack shit for 3 months. God, I cannot wait. Several years ago, I loaded a bunch of camping gear onto my bicycle. https://np.reddit.com/r/bicyclettering/s/1tsvvepqsr close bracket and spent the better part of the next 7 months riding 5,300 miles, 8,500 kilometers, around the Western US solo. Of course there are hardships on a trip like that. Pedaling 80 pounds, 36 kilograms, of bike and camping gear up a mountain pass through a snowstorm. Or spending a night tossing and turning and leaning out the door of the tent to vomit when I came down with food poisoning while just wild camping in the woods, having to fix a flat tire first thing the next morning before riding for half a day through a cold rain to get to a motel for some proper rest. But that trip also included many of the greatest moments of my life so far. I'll never forget the time I stood before the mighty Pacific for the first time, knowing my home in Wisconsin was 2,300 miles, 3,700 kilometers, from. For more traditional vacations, I've loved both of my times in Alaska. I first went back in August of 2022, spent 3.5 weeks car camping around the state solo before spending the last week visiting a friend who'd at the time just recently moved up there. I loved Alaska so much that I just went back this past winter. Yes, Alaska in February -37 degrees my final morning in Fairbanks, and no, that's not wind chill. It was absolutely magical. Was lucky enough when I was 17 to spend 1 month in Peru, Bolivia and Ecuador. Hiked the Inca Trail from Cusco to Machu Picchu, over to Lake Titicaca, down into the Amazon and then to Ecuador. From there we spent 1 week on a cruise around the Galapagos Islands, which was awesome. That has to be my best holiday ever. Although in the next few months I'm taking my 14-year-old daughter to China and taking the train up to Lhasa in Tibet. So that may rival it. Last month, my family and I went on an 8-day cruise vacation in the Caribbean. Cuba 2019. Eastern European Tour Summer 2017. Rhodes, Greece. Amazing place. I have 3 actually. 1. Cannon Beach, Oregon 2012. 2. Vacation Illinois 2016. Then Oregon Cannon Beach again in 2022. Best times of my life. The last one was an escape from my then narcissistic boss. We loved Bavaria. When me, my brother and some friends went backpacking around Northern Europe, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium, Germany, for 2 weeks. Batanes, Philippines. It was the best vacation I had way back in summer 2019. Amalfi Coast in Italy 2012, breathtaking. Also loved Rome in 2004. I road trip to Michigan for a friend's wedding, live in Nebraska, the wedding was subpar at best. Took another friend with me and we made a whole thing of it. Stopped in Chicago for a day, explored local places, museums, a Japanese center, etc. I don't think I have ever had a more chill vacation ever. No real expectations, wake up and just decide what to do for the day. For me, it's a tie between Star Trek, The Cruise in 2023 and Amazing Vacation 2017. Amazing Vacation was a road trip to Yellowstone and back that I designed with almost 100 amazing race style clues to get my wife and kids from one activity or site to the next. My grandpa, he always wanted to go to the city he felt in love with my grandma. 1 year before he died, we took him there and he was the happiest man alive. He missed so much her wife. Now they are reunited. That was for sure the best vacation I had. Make a wish trip to Nick. I'm in Alaska, so traveling anywhere is hard and expensive. I hadn't been anywhere outside of the West Coast since I was 14. Backstage at a Broadway show. The people were fantastic, the city was amazing, and to have a trip like that be a victory lap after beating what felt unbeatable was something else. Myrtle Beach in 2007 with my brothers. I met the hottest girl ever to that point. White bikini, great tan, cute butt, etc. I took her back to my room, and she gave me a crazy hot blowjob that resulted in me exploding on her face. I never saw her again, but I'll be damned if that wasn't a great vacation.